All right. So welcome new and returning users to this is the 5th installment of the East End United Community Center's 21st Century After School Program. We thank them for supporting this program. It's been a lot of fun. In past weeks, we've visited Dan Tomsick to talk about wood-fired pottery. We visited Anna Koplik, a blacksmith from Texas, and she gave us a great demonstration. And we also visited Travis Winters, who talked about his ceramic work. Today, we're going to talk about Teen Week. Teen Week at Touchstone has been our favorite week since all of us started. We really enjoy the experience and seeing the joy that the teens get out of coming here. Typically our programming is for adults, but we get to shut down for a week and just open it up to teens, and it's a lot of fun. So what I'm gonna do today is so the first week we did this, we tried to show some videos that didn't really come over very well. So what we decided to do today is to just show some photos of last year's Teen Week. So we'll start off with that. I'll talk a little bit about the Teen Week that was scheduled. It was scheduled but canceled, and now we're moving it online. So we're gonna hopefully give you some insight into that. And Travis should be joining us. He wants to talk a little bit about the next couple of weeks we're going to continue this series because it's been very popular, and we're happy to bring it. So to start off, if anyone has any questions, please post them in the chat. If you're not familiar with that, just hover over the bottom of your screen and click on the chat button, and it should come up on the right-hand side. If you want to test it out, and just type your name and where you're from, would love to see who's visiting us. And the first thing I'm going to do here is share my screen. Nope. All right. So this is Touchstone's website. I'm sure many of you have visited there, but just wanted to point out that we now have a direct link to all of our virtual programming right on the homepage. You can also get there from the top. Just click on events and drop down to virtual events. But if you want to get there quickly, just click for virtual options. And I am going to show you some photos from last year's Teen Week. You might recognize some people. This was the schedule. We had a blacksmithing workshop with Anna Koplik, clay workshop with Hannah Pierce, glass with Fig. I see Fig is on the call, so we can probably hear from him later. Maya Lepo in small metals and jewelry, and drawing for teens with Phil Ashworth, and he's also on the call, so we'll be happy to hear from him later too. And another very popular class was journaling for teens with Roger Heineman. Roger always ends up being one of the favorite instructors. He's a wonderful man, and we all enjoy him here. So you start off on Sunday and you check in. Your parents leave you. Some of them are pretty sad, but some of them are pretty happy to let you go. So then you have some time to unwind and get to know the people you're going to be spending the week with. We bring people from all over the area, as far as New York and Michigan and Maryland, but mostly they're locally. They're from Fayette County, Pittsburgh area, and you can see it's a lot of fun. You know, you have plenty of time to unwind, but it's also very serious, and you get like some really intense instruction in the workshops. You make lifelong friends, find your tribe, because all the people that come are very interested in the arts and they have the same interests as you. So we start off Sunday night with an intro, and everybody gets to meet each other and meet the instructors that are going to be there for the week. And this is what your week looks like. So you work in the studio from 9 to 5 every day. You choose one studio that you stay with all week long. Monday night, we had presentations in ceramics and blacksmithing. Tuesday night, we had an art chat, which was a lot of fun. And you get to hear from professional artists and how they found their way and how they make it as a business. There's presentations pretty much different nights during the week. You get to visit the other studios and see what's going on. So that's always a lot of fun to check out what they're doing somewhere else. On Wednesday, we had a drum circle, which was pretty amazing to have 50, 60 people in a room banging on drums. It was a lot of energy, a lot of laughter. It was a great time. Yeah, and so then usually on Fridays, we have an open house in the studios and you get to walk around and see what everybody made during the week. Your parents get to come and pick you up and see what you did all week long as well. This week, kind of something special happened was we ended up having a snake. This past year, we had a snake off. So the blacksmithing studio all challenged each other to create a snake. And then we all voted on which snake was the winner. So these are some of the studios. This is the ceramic studio with Meg and Hannah. This is the drawing studio with Phil. There's Bailey. Maya was one of our interns last year, so you get to meet them and work with them too. This is the glass studio. And there's Fig. And this is the small metal studio with Erica. She was our intern last year, and Maya, the instructor. The students in there made a lot of rings and bracelets and pendants and things like that. So this is the blacksmithing studio with Anna Koplik. Our blacksmithing forge is one of the best in the country. It's a very spacious environment and a very popular class too. So I see Travis is joining us now. All right, so we also take you on tours, you know, so you can see the other studios, you get to tour the campus, so you get familiar with your surroundings. That's the creek behind the drawing studio. So this is from one of the artist talks. During the evening, you know, you kind of need a break from the studio, so we gather in the lodge and get to hear from the professional artists that show us some of their work and what they do. That was our instructors from last year. We also have chaperones on campus. Some of them are here tonight, and they're going to talk to you a little bit about their experience. We're really happy to have them join us every year. So there's plenty of time to hang out on the porch. This was the drum circle. You can't even imagine the experience from a photo, but it was pretty amazing. That's the whole group. So we get about 50 to 60 teens who come, and one of the things that we work really hard on here at Touchstone is making it accessible and to anyone and affordable. So most of the teens come here, I would say like 95% of them come on full scholarship and don't have to pay very much. So it's really a wonderful experience. The scholarship process is starting in January. You can download an application and submit it by March 1st, I believe. And we look through all the applicants. It's really important that you do all of the things in the application. We require a letter of reference from maybe your art teacher or someone who knows you well. We like to see some of your artwork, and we're not looking for the best artists. We're just looking for serious artists and someone who wants to learn. We all know that we wouldn't be here if everybody knew everything already, you know, so we know that we're going to bring people with all different experience levels, and that makes the experience a lot more vibrant. So you can see like some amazing work was being created all week. That was from the jewelry class. Some more. There's some of the beads and things made in the glass studio. That was in ceramics. And here is some of the work that the students did in blacksmithing. That was in the journaling class. And here is drawing. And this was from the snake off night. All right. So let me switch over to our website. So this is where Teen Week lives, and this is where we'll be posting the announcements about our virtual Teen Week when it's coming up. And this talks about the scholarship process and some of the things that we had planned for this year. Cool. All right, so I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. And Travis, are you here?
I am here.
Hey, buddy.
Hello.
So we have some eager people here that want to hear about the things coming up virtually.
All right, give me 1 second to get everything that I have together. That way I give you the right information. All right. So yeah, this summer is definitely different than our usual teen week, but we are still looking forward to having some programming for Teen Week through virtual artist talks, virtual um, artist demos, hopefully some portfolio, like virtual portfolio reviews, and kind of also having a panel discussion. All of this will be happening the same week that our Teen Week was actually scheduled for, which is July 19th through 21st. So hopefully that week we're going to have a good kind of list of programming for you guys to join in on. We have Anna Koplick, who was going to be our blacksmithing instructor, is going to be giving us kind of a walkthrough of kind of how she makes a living as an artist and kind of her job as a production blacksmith. And she'll give you a tour of the studio that she's working out of. We also have Cheryl Capizzuti, who is going to be teaching this summer. Is going to be giving a talk about her puppetry and kind of how she goes about making a living. She does makes puppets, does a lot of like set design and a lot of costuming. So that one should be really exciting to kind of sit in and watch. We are hoping to have portfolio reviews that you can sign up for and be able to show your work to one of our instructors and be able to kind of talk to them about your work and kind of seeing where you're at and kind of where you can improve and stuff. And that is hopefully going to be scheduled on July 22nd. All of this information will be posted online as soon as all of it is finalized. And then kind of we are hoping to have a panel discussion at the end of Teen Week that'll be kind of centered around finding your voice through using art, which should be a really great conversation and pretty informative how a lot of the artists kind of found out how they're doing what they're doing and how they got to where they got through their artwork. So we're looking forward to having this programming and hopefully all of you tune in. It should be a great week.
So Travis, like typically we have a scholarship application process for the virtual one though, what's going on with that?
So the virtual ones are all free. There is no process. All you have to do is register for them. All the links to register for these will be listed much like this one was online that you can just go to and sign up for through our website. And they should be up at least 2 weeks in advance of Teen Week.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so keep an eye out on our social media and our e-blasts. We'll be sending out information. We'll also be reaching out to a lot of teachers that we know to help share with their students, and great. So we have another teen program happening, our summer school program. I am gonna go back and share my screen again. I just put this up today. It is available to register now. So if you go to our virtual events page, right below, this is the one you're in now. We have the summer school program, which starts on June 18th. We're gonna have a great demo from Joy Knapp in the Glass Studio. And these will be at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The following week, we have Maya Aleppo. And then the following week, we have Phil Ashworth. The rest of the weeks will be announced, but we're probably doing a blacksmithing and a ceramics and possibly another metals demo. And you could register here for free for those 6 weeks coming up soon. This is also brought to you by East End United Community Center. So I think a good place to go next here might be to Phil, who's walking around his home.
Hey, I was sitting outside and it started raining. I gotta move it in.
So Phil, since you're gonna be doing this after school program with us again this year, so I don't know, I was just wondering, if you could tell us a little bit about your experience last year with Teen Week and maybe also a little teaser of what you're going to do this year.
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, I hadn't taught probably in maybe over 10 years when I did Teen Week last year. So I was definitely like, it took me maybe like a day kind of get my footing, but it was so low key though at the same time. Like, even though you're, trying to give all the students the best possible like class they can get, it also just feels like very organic and smooth, and not a lot of like stress. Like, we all had a good time. So yeah, I mean, it's good. You're like spending lots of time in the studio and getting really like, it's like this kind of intense week of working, but at the same time, it's a lot of fun. So yeah, it was good. By the end, I didn't want to leave. I was like sad to go back to New York City. I wanted to just stay in the woods, hang out.
Yeah, we don't like to leave either. So,
but and yeah, I mean, as far as for what's coming up, I don't know. It's a little tricky right now because I'm kind of hiding out from New York City during the pandemic and everything. So I don't know. I think I'm just gonna try and like do a little PowerPoint type thing because I don't really have a studio at the moment to show off. Yeah, and just kind of give people an idea of what my work is, how I do it. Maybe try and show some stuff I've been working on while being inundated with the pandemic, and how that's kind of translating into my work. So yeah, and just kind of finding how to make work when there's something so intense kind of going on in your everyday life, and finding ways to, it's almost mentally helping yourself, to have a creative outlet.
sure.
To kind of encourage that right now. So yeah.
Thanks. All right. If anyone has any questions for Phil, just feel free to raise your hand or post it in the chat. Fig, do you have a moment to stop making glass? And so how many years have you been working with Teen Week?
Am I now unmuted?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I've been with the Touchstone things, Teen Week thing, since its inception. So I've been with Touchstone for quite a number of years. It's trying to think of good words. It's astounding. I part of the art family there.
Yeah.
It's an easy sell, I guess. I'm listening as we were doing this while I'm working, and I can't put it down, but I don't know how well you can see. I'm sorry, my studio's set up. But I'm doing what you would be learning at a Touchstone, making marbles, for example, in the glass class.
Nice.
It's a great chance to be out in art camp. It's not just summer camp. It's you're living, doing what you need to do. So that's the best I can say right now.
All right. Yeah. Thank you, Fig. I kind of put you on the spot there, but I appreciate your comments.
My pleasure.
All
And
right.
maybe you got a little here.
All right. So Fig's class is always one of the most popular. So we also, on today's meeting, we have two chaperones joining us, and I'd just like to hear from them what they get from the experience. I mean, they're teachers and they off for the summer and they come back to be with students again. Like, maybe I'll start with Sarah.
Sure. Honestly, it's just really fun for me to be around high school students that aren't my students. I mean, I obviously love being around my students, but it's just a good environment. It's good as an art teacher to be able to be surrounded by other creative people and by, teenagers who are really invested and interested in learning more about art. Yeah, I always get a lot out of it. Just being there, going into the studios, just hanging out, seeing what people are working on, meeting new people. So yeah, if I would have had the opportunity as a teenager to attend something like that, it would have like changed my life. So yeah, it's a cool thing, and I'm happy to be a part of it as an adult.
Great. Thanks. We're always happy to have you come. And it's a really great point. You know, I was an artist. I am an artist too. Never knew how to really make it as a career, but you don't have to either. You know, like I chose graphic design and marketing, and it's been a great career for me. So there's a lot of different paths, and that's one of the things you learn. But Karen is also on the call, and Karen is not an art teacher, but she has definitely something to say too about how the arts are incorporated into all curriculum, right?
Yeah, absolutely. First off, as I said, I've been with Touchstone as a teen chaperone for years. I love Touchstone, and I didn't know that it existed until I was well into my 20s. I teach biology and just about every science I think that we could offer at the school. And I think it comes in, having that art aspect comes in so heavily. I have my kids keep a journal in my one class, and they have to go out and they have to do observations. And I always tell them, we're looking for detail. I want you to draw stuff. I want you to be able to identify it from your pictures. So I use this as a really big professional development thing for myself, just in learning these things. And I love seeing what the kids created. I actually went through my house for a second and picked up some of the things that kids have made for me through the years.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I have a bowl that a kid gave me, and they're from all different schools, so I love it. One of my students from Fraser made me this mug, and it's one of my favorites.
Great.
And then this piece actually hangs on my wall in my dining room here. And this piece actually, it makes me laugh because I got this my first year working at Touchstone with the kids, and it always made me think of my friend Sarah, who just talked. Who just spoke, and it made me laugh because now she's there with me. I really love Touchstone. And I encourage so many people to participate in, oh my gosh, it's so great.
Nice, thanks. And you both have participated in Educators Retreat as well. So Educators Retreat kind of evolved out of Teen Week after having conversations with the chaperones, and they're like, we want this for us, you know? So we do offer a Educators Retreat. We started it last year. It was very popular. We had it scheduled for this year, but Travis, what's going on with that? We moving that online too?
We are moving that online, and we also have a bunch of great programming for that week as well. Would you like me to talk about that programming now, or?
Sure. A little teaser, I guess. Nothing.
So that's going to all be happening the same exact week that Educator Week was scheduled. So it'll be July 27th through the 31st. Every day of the week, we will have some kind of programming happening virtually. Pretty much similar to the Teen Week, we're going to have kind of different talks, different artists kind of doing presentations on their work. We're going to have, some conversations to really engage with the educators. We're hoping to host a happy hour just to get teachers together to talk about how they've been working through this pandemic, which I think has been a monumental change to the education system in general. So I think there will be some really wonderful conversations that happen during that, and kind of what teachers have been doing to kind of get through that. As well as a few artist talks. We're going to have, don't remember the lady's name, but she runs Wellness for Makers, which is all about how to use your body efficiently to make work, and how to maintain your body over, have the longevity, keep making work and not, develop arthritis, kind of other things that can happen through the constant repetition of an artist and all of that good stuff. So that should be a really good conversation as well. So should be another great week of programming.
Thank you. So I also wanted to hear from past participants. So I invited Bailey to talk a little bit about what how she feels about Touchstone and how she feels about the experience.
I'm unmuted, right?
You're unmuted, yes.
Okay, cool. So for me, I've been with Touchstone and lots of different art programs for a while, because I always knew that art was an interest that I really had. And just seeing Touchstone and how they like operate things and how Teen Week works is just like, it's a great opportunity if you're a young artist to work on your skills and find your medium. And the group is so welcoming that you feel like it's like a family up there, because you get to meet lots of new and interesting people, and you find who you connect with. And like even the instructors, I got along really well with, and I really liked all of the students and the instructors that I met up there. Some of them I knew a little longer just from being there before and like visiting the studios, but it's just a very open atmosphere. And if you're an outdoor person and you're also interested in the arts, this is definitely a place for you. Like, I know I have woods in the back of my house that I go with my friend, and my roommate, she's not here, Gia, we would always like in the evenings just go out and like explore. Like we would go catch fireflies, maybe go to the creek, and we would just walk around and explore, because Touchstone is so big and there's so much to see.
I also understand you would have impromptu dance parties at any moment in time, right?
Oh yeah, we did. We did dance a lot. And I also brought some of my art from 4-H, which isn't drawing, it's beading, but because I really wanted, like, I was really interested in small metals at first, but I also really wanted to improve on my drawing skills. So I was just going to show you guys some of these. Oh my gosh. A lot of them are really big necklaces. So here's one that I made.
Nice.
And then I have a blue one of that one. Here, wait. They're all tangled, honestly. And they're pretty big.
Beautiful.
And they took a while, but it's definitely worth it, because I think that beading and drawing are my two favorite kind of art forms. And I also made some bracelets, and I've never brought these with me or like shown a lot of people, but if there's a medium that you like, Touchstone most likely offers it. Like, I know this year I was planning on doing ceramics because it looked like a lot of fun, and Gia seemed really interested in it because I took drawing last year and she took ceramics, and I love giving different mediums a try just to see what you're good at and see what you can improve in.
Great. Sounds like you should take a glass class too.
Yeah. I remember we visited the glass studio, and Fig had this box of like tops that he made out of glass, and Gia and I were just like playing with them, and they were so much fun. We were just spinning them around.
Nice. All right. Thank you, Bailey, for sharing. Victoria, are you also a past participant? Would you like to share a little bit about your experience?
Yeah, I could share a little bit. I don't have a whole lot of experience with art camps or art programs. This Touchstone was my first one. So that was a nice thing. And I'm not the outdoorsy type either, if you can't tell. I'm usually stuck inside behind a computer screen or something. So it was a nice new experience to take a lot of inspiration from the outdoors rather than the artificial man-made stuff that I'm used to. But the I don't know, the the community that you're kind of in while you're staying at Touchstone is, like Bailey said, really welcoming. I haven't felt that welcomed in like an education, like, you know, like the standard schooling education. When it's Touchstone, it's a bit different. They don't put you like on a lower level. They treat you like a student, but they don't treat you like a lesser person for being a student. And that's really nice. Something very enjoyable that I'm very happy to have experienced.
Great. Well, thanks a lot for sharing. That very, very well said. And that's what we aim to do, you know, so I'm glad it's coming across. So do we have any questions? Questions for Travis or instructors or chaperones?
I have a question for Travis. When is everything going to be coming out for Educator Week? Because
So everything for Educator Week, I'm hoping to get up. I know all teachers want to know far in advance, so I'm working on hopefully at least a month in advance. Everything will be listed. We are working on finalizing a few of the details of it, so keep your eyes out. I'm sure Dean will be making a post about it and sending out information as soon as everything's kind of finalized for the week. So
okay, thank you.
Ruby, I saw you were working on a drawing there. It looked really nice. You still
Thank
there? You. Look great. It's neat to see somebody sketching. So, all right. Did I miss anything? Travis, do you have anything to add or?
yeah, I mean, I can add on to kind of everything everyone said. I know Touchstone is really kind of a wonderful place. There is something about taking workshops and kind of being in this environment that really influences you, inspires you, it changes you. I know my first experience wasn't even when I was a teenager when I went to a place similar to Touchstone, and it kind of changed everything I did with not only my work, but it's also changed kind of me as a person. So it really is kind of a super great experience that I can't suggest enough, especially for teens to get out there and be able to, you know, work alongside some of, you know, the best artists in the country and kind of get to know a lot of students and other high school age kids from the area. So it's a wonderful time.
Thanks. All right. Well, before we go, I just have one more thing to share. And unless anybody has any other questions, but one of the things we did last year was we had a meme contest. So I just thought I'd call those up and show you some of the memes that were put out, and that's the way we'll end this. So, but thank you everyone for coming. Get over to touchstonecrafts.org and sign up for the next sessions, and keep your eye out for announcements about Teen Week and Educators Retreat. So here are some memes to send you off. All right. He has the shirt on. All right, that's it. Thank you, everyone. See you soon.